Poshmark is an app that you can download for free, and you can sell lots of different categories. They have shoes, clothing, beauty, electronics. You can sell new and used goods. And in my last video, I showed you guys how you can quickly take a photo of an item and list everything within 60 seconds. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you some of the features that Poshmark has on their app to help you make money fast. We're going to talk about sharing, we're going to talk about sending offers, and we're going to be talking about some of the other third-party pieces that I use to help streamline my business as well as help with more sales. Let's get into the video. The first screen that you see is when you go to Poshmark.com, what comes up if you are signed in on the platform. If you go up to where your profile picture is, the very first line item is My Closet. When you click on that, it's going to take you to your closet. This is everything that I have listed in my store as of this moment, so hopefully you have maybe 1 to 2 pieces, if not more, in your store at this time. If you wanted to really quickly just share in bulk, you could click on this little arrow and it pops up with this window. If there are any sales that are going on, or parties I should say, they do 4 parties every day, so you can always share to those parties if the brands or the categories are cohesive with your listings, but you can also just share to your followers. And if you wanted to do that with every single piece, you could go ahead and do that. I, on the other hand, have a ton of items in my store, and so after a certain point, it wasn't wise for me to do that on a regular basis, just one by one, clicking on each item and sharing it individually. There is a new feature that they have brought out where you can do a edit listed price or edit listings in bulk or make offers to likers. So you can click on any of these. Oh, and share to followers. That's the other one. I was looking for that one. So you can click on share to followers. Let's do that one first. Now you can see you have this little button at the top that you can do select all. The problem with select all is it says right here there's 48 listings selected. That's because that's how many that is loaded onto this page. So if you scrolled down, it's got to load more, and then you can scroll down more and then it loads more. So now you've got 144 listings that have been selected. If you have more items in your store, you just got to keep scrolling until it checks every single item that you have in your store. And then you can click share to followers. This is a really nice feature. They just came out with this, I want to say within the last year. So this makes it so much more easy for you to share in bulk, and something that I do like to do from time to time. However, it sometimes is a little bit of a glitchy system, and sometimes I like to just do a few different buttons and walk away from my computer. So one of the third-party pieces that I use regularly to streamline my store is Posher VA. Now, Posher VA is a paid service, but if you are interested in trying it out for 2 weeks for free, I will have a link down below, and any of the pieces that I'm talking about today, I will have links down below for those different features. It has been around for such a long time. It has been a very tried and true. They are so good at updating. It is a Chrome extension, so it's something that you can't do in Safari. If you do have an Apple computer, it does need to be something that you do on Chrome.com or any of the Windows websites, or I guess Chrome still. So it's this little thing right here. Once you have it, and if you guys want a completely separate video on how to get this connected to your Poshmark store, I can do that as well. But it's this little button right here, or at the top of my toolbar, it will also have this drop down. I do like this because you can do lots of things. You can at random share every item in your store. If you like the order that you have everything in your store and you want to have it stay that order, you can just do a share top to bottom. If you want it to do a continuous sharing, you can actually select that and tell it how many loops that you want it to go back in. So compared to what Poshmark has, where when you just do the checks, it's going to share every piece, and that's great, and that's a free service that Poshmark now has for us. But if you wanted it to continuously share, it will do that on the Posher VA. Now, why does this even matter? What is sharing doing for anything? The beautiful thing about Poshmark in comparison to eBay and any other websites that I have used before to sell products is typically if you are wanting your items to be at the top of the search, so say for example, if I want to search for Free People, let's say Free People flare jeans. When I click on search, the first thing that pops up typically is the thing that was just recently shared. You can see that in the sort by. Now you can always change this and go to just in, but when you're sharing your items on Poshmark, it should reboost your items into the search engine. That's why this is important. And then that's also why it's important for you to continue to list items in your store, because if people are searching by just in, your item might start to go down at the bottom of the list. So sharing is beneficial in that regard. And per what I've seen from both PoshFest and other trainings, they've pretty much led on to say that sharing isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. So back to this little drop down tool here. If we click on this again, it says edit listing price and then edit listings in bulk. Honestly, I've never used the edit listings in bulk. You can do the price here, but one of the other things that I do enjoy about Posher VA that I'm not even seeing right here, which is again a very beneficial component to it and might be worth you paying for this service, is when you go to Posher VA, they have different tabs at the top. So you can click on how many people do you want to follow on a daily basis, or unfollow. I'm not really sure you really need to do that right now, but all these different things that Posher VA has in their platform, aside from like the unfollow thing, it's to benefit boosting your store in Poshmark to hopefully help you get more sales. Another one that I like to use pretty regularly is sending bulk offers. Typically on Thursday, I think about people are getting paid either today or tomorrow. So I want to send a 10% or a 20% off offer to everyone who has liked my items. And that's the other key, is if you continue to share your items in your store, you're going to gain more likes on your items. And if people have liked your item, then you can provide them with private discounts. So you can do a 10% off, you can do 20, 30, whatever your heart's desire. You can provide them with a shipping discount at $5.95 or $4.99. That would be what they would pay. So you would take in the difference. You could even say how many net earnings you want to have. So say, hey, I want to do a 50% off sale, but I want to make at least $10 if an item were to sell. So it'll go through all those items and go, okay, this one isn't going to work. And it will pass that one in sending offers, that 50% off that you're wanting to do, because you want to net a specific amount. So this is all in Posher VA that you're not going to get if you're just using the Poshmark features. However, if you're just getting started and like you only have 5 to 10 items in your store, I would recommend just sticking with that. There is another service that is completely free if you want to try that one out, and that is Flyp. It's another Chrome extension, and one of the other benefits with Flyp is it is similar to Posher VA in the sense that it does the sharing and it does add in offers and following people. But the thing that it does that Posher VA does not is also cross-list to other platforms. You still have to manually do it. And what cross-listing means is, say I have this Loungefly bag right here, but I also have an eBay store, or I have a Mercari store, and I know that that brand actually does really well on those platforms, and it might be better to get more eyes on this piece. So I could cross-list is what it means. So you're taking all the information that you have on Poshmark, you're loading it into like the Flyp website, and then you are pushing it live on these different platforms. You just have to connect your accounts, so your Mercari, your eBay, so on and so forth, to Flyp, so that way they can publish them in your accounts. So those are the two services that I use to help me get more sales on Poshmark. I veered off a little bit to kind of give you a little bit more of a what's possible. So if that is something that is interesting to you, make sure you comment down below. I'm interested in learning more about cross-listing, because perhaps we can do another video about that at a different time. Should you share your closet every day? Yes. Should you share your closet multiple times a day? Yes. Is there a limit to how many times you can share your closet? That's a bit of a gray answer. Poshmark does have, like, I've heard of people getting into like a shared jail. Basically, you don't want to do an action really on any platform in a manner that makes you look like a bot, because typically that flags to the website or app that you're using that you are a bot, and they'll put a stop to what it is that you're doing. So you don't want to like mass follow thousands of people. You don't want to mass share thousands of times in your closet. Typically the rule of thumb I've learned is the 10,000 share rule. I never get up to that number. I don't even want to tango with that, because you can get to a place where you're blocking locked out of being able to share for 24 hours, from what I understand. So I typically have a max in Posher VA for it to share 8,000 times in one day. That's the max that I want it to go. And if it will keep going and then it hits that number, it'll completely stop for that 24-hour time frame. So that's what I would recommend. Do you have to send offers every day? Also no, but the more times you are active on Poshmark, whether it is sharing, sending offers, replying to people's comments, the more that I have seen a boost in sales. Does it always work? Unfortunately not. That's a part of the aspects of Poshmark right now that I'm really hoping they're going to get updated now that they have a new buyer who is purchasing Poshmark and taking it over. I think taking it over. Should we do a video about that one? So just bear in mind that the more activity and the more that you are seen being active in your store, it should help boost in those sales. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I did post a video about how to list on Poshmark. So if this video seemed very daunting or like I have no idea what you're talking about because you haven't listed anything, go back to that video because that is going to teach you the basics on how to list an item. In next week's video, I'm really going to need you guys' help. I want to hear if you guys are interested in learning about how to ship your items, or maybe even some of the brands and categories I love to sell the most on the platform that makes me most profit. Let me know in the comments down below because we will be doing the video based on whichever one you guys want the most. I'll see you next week. Bye.